But I mean, shout out to Atlanta, number 9, greatest show of all time, apparently. I don't even think I seen the most recent episode. I seen last week's episode with Paperboy and the Bar Mitzvah and shit. That was actually an interesting topic about just the music business, it being a young man's game, and also just the number one consumer of the shit. It's like young white people, right? Young white kids. It was interesting, and I mean, we could probably move on from it. I thought it was interesting how they introduced the topic of Paperboy being an older act rapper, I mean, street rapper. Episode starts out with him performing at a bar mitzvah. You know what I mean? He got hired to perform at a bar mitzvah, and at the end of the performance, the dad of whoever is the child at the bar mitzvah comes up to Paperboy and is like, "Yo, he's real. He's fascinated by how Paperboy does his rap shit. You know what I mean, he's just fascinated about him, by him as a person. He's like, yo, my son's trying to do this rap hip hop shit. Like, can you teach him? Like, what will it take for you to, you know what I mean, take him under your wing and show him the ropes? Because you know this white dude is an older white man. He's interested in hip hop just on face value. Thinks it's cool. Paperboy is like, yo, nah, man, I ain't fucking with that, bro. Like, fuck out of here. I ain't for sale. And as he's walking off, oh boy, the pops is like, yo, I'll give you $1,000,000. Paperboy's like, I bet. So fast forward, shows Paperboy pulling up to the studio. 3 young white kids, probably under the age of 15, like high school kids, it seems, it appears. And you know how Atlanta does, they always draw parallels of shit in pop culture to the show. So it had like a nigga named the Yodel Kid, which is probably representing that kid that was Mason Ramsey, the nigga that got popular in Walmart, yodeling and shit, ended up on a Atlantic deal. And there's 2 other white young kids that are just making bullshit music, but I mean, they got all the resources available to them to make the shit. They got an engineer in there full time, just making whatever music they need. Paperboy pulls up. None of them niggas know him. So he's feeling away like, yo, damn, like am I not hot? Turns out like the white kid lets him know, oh yeah, my son. He tells Paperboy, oh yeah, you're the guy my dad bought. So Paperboy's feeling away like, nigga, what? Nigga bought? The fuck you talking about? And homie breaks it to him like, yeah, my dad, he's into this hip hop thing. Like, he does a lot, man. Like, he tries to get people to fuck with me and show me the ropes. But I mean, you collect that check, bro. Like, sit here if you want to sit there, smoke, do your thing. Like, I'm gonna get back to my shit. And as he's there, another dude shows up around Paperboy's age. Another black dude pulls up with another little white artist. And then him and Paperboy start chopping it up. They're like, yo, know what I mean? Homie tells him, yo, you trying to get out of here? Let's go to the B room. We could really, know what I mean? We could do our grown man shit. They go in there, they start chopping it up, they smoking bud. Paperboy breaks it to him, like, yeah, know what I mean? I ain't really fucking with this, but I'm only here because I got a mail from it. Homie tells him, yo, you should have got 10 mil. Paperboy like, yo, oh shit, fuck. I ain't getting enough bread from this shit. What the hell? So now they getting a little close. Homie invites him to this meeting. At the meeting, they introduce the topic of a YWA, a young white avatar, which basically is a young white kid that loves hip hop culture, isn't really rapping and isn't really into that shit, but as the OG, as a nigga in hip hop, Paperboy takes him under these dudes take these white kids under their wing and just get bread off of them because they, you know what I mean, they show them the ropes, they help them write their music, and because white people are like the biggest consumers in hip hop, they know if you got somebody that's a white rapper, we could point to a number of examples nowadays: Jack Harlow, Logic, G-Eazy, niggas that's white that rap that might be nice, but white people could relate to them just because of how they look. So with that comes a larger percent of the motherfucking pie that you taking out of. So I thought it was interesting. I was just like, yo, damn. It's actually something when I was making music, I thought of, but not in terms of like finding a young white rapper. I was just thinking like, yo, hip hop is a young man's game. It's probably best to be the older nigga, and that's what hip hop really is. You be an older nigga that been around, seen the game, know what's going on. Take somebody young underneath your wing and kind of mold them into an artist. So I thought that shit was interesting because I mean, if I'm being honest, I think Yeet, I think Yeet might be one of them niggas. Like, if you really pay attention to who this nigga Yeet is as an artist, I don't know the nigga clearly, but he got a homie that's black that's like his right hand man. Who knows if this nigga is like a real like a manager or something to him? We just know it's a black dude that's co-signing this nigga Yeet. So it gives him a sense of like street cred. So the shit he talk about, whether it's true or not, it just
Right.
seems a little bit more believable because he got this black dude in his corner.
Right day.
So I think that shit is very real, son. Like, you gotta think, like, we had that fucking AI bullshit that they try to pull around in our face. We got niggas like Lil Pump, like, so you want to say 6ix9ine. All these niggas it's the same thing. Like, it's a nigga that got some bread, got a little bit of clout in the industry, a little bit of, know what I mean, some relationships that could find a young nigga that's just into hip hop culture, give him a little image, and now, yo, the biggest consumers, white kids, are gonna fuck with you because they think they could
I
be
think it's
you now.
100% motherfucking true.
It's an
nigga.
interesting topic. What y'all niggas think about that?
Very
though?
true.
That's the music business. Like, that's Atlanta is, and I mean, maybe that's why Atlanta is top 10. But Atlanta does a good job in bridging the gap between television, good writing for the most part, and real like pop culture or just topics that's going on in real life. I thought that aspect of that episode was pretty interesting, man, because it's yeah, like y'all niggas said, that shit is really going on out here. I fuck with Yeet music. I'm a consumer of music nowadays, but I just listen to a song and that's it. I don't give a fuck about your history, your like all of that shit don't matter to me no more. If I put on a song and it's decent and I can listen to it, that's all I care about now. But that's also the reason why shit like this can be successful. You know what I mean? Like, why a nigga like Yeet could be, and I don't know how popping he is, but in terms of the public and his numbers, whatever that means, he's successful as an artist. One of the most successful right now in terms of just like streaming numbers. When you get into what else it means to be an artist, touring and all that shit, he not there. But in terms of popularity and clout right now, that nigga Yee is like, you know what I mean, he one of them niggas that's up there. And I always thought that he got the nigga, I think his name is September Rich, is the nigga that be featuring on some of his songs that be in his videos, black nigga with dreads. You can see he's a little older, probably like around our age, probably made music, tried to do his thing, didn't turn out, and he either was cool with this nigga Yeet already, came across him and was like, yo, let me manage you, and I could get you to the promised land, my boy. And we see where that nigga Yeet is now. So I thought that was interesting because shit, that is a tactic nowadays that the music business is using. We know the music business feeds off of using younger artists to basically to make profit. You know what I mean? They find a new artist. We see Ice Spice going through that shit right now with her situation. She literally came up overnight, had a few songs out, one video and song popped. Now she's in a position where she's doing all the festivals and shit, or doing a little circuit. But there's videos coming out of her not being like the best performer. Not on her fault. She just didn't have time to develop as an artist. But that's just how the music business runs. We find this new artists that get hot on their own. We put money behind them to take them to another level, and now we're just gonna eat off of them. We don't give a fuck if they develop into a real artist or not. We're just gonna make all this bread off of them as we can right now. And if you get better, cool, we're gonna make more bread off you. If you don't, it's a tax write-off. We don't care. It's interesting. It's real interesting how where hip hop has come now, and just a different seeing shit unfold and understanding what's really going on behind the scenes.
still on your block. You niggas know what it is, homie. The fifth on me, I smear bullets at your rail, homie. Put a stack up or call for backup. It's still HBU, heartbreak or get cracked up. Money I chase, fuck clearing it out the bank. My niggas run up and chase, duck, take the stab, get the cash, then we escape. Agree with me? If you don't, then go some balls, nigga. Focus on what you got, never dwell on your loss, nigga. Life is hard for a young black man selling drugs. Fuck a hoe just because.